Hi Reese. Let me see if I can show you a little bit about how to do that attached butterfly without a die cut. I don't know who made that die cut or where it was at. I do remember seeing it, but I just can't put my finger on it. But you can replicate it without the stamp, and maybe come up with some drawing or something to do on it. First thing you want to do is find a butterfly. So we're going to click on an image right here on your left, click images, and then you're going to type in butterfly. Now this works best if you have an image that has a layer under it, such as this. We're looking for two color. I'm going to pick that one. I know you're an Anna Griffin fan. You do a lot of the Anna Griffin stuff. This one right here is one I uploaded that has a dual layer. But basically that's what you're looking for. This one would have a dual layer, and this one. Here's an Anna Griffin one. We'll just go with this one for now. And then you're going to insert your image. Okay? And let's just go with the Anna Griffin one because it's already set up. You can do it without, and I will show you that. I will save this one to show you if you have one that doesn't have a layer. But this one has 4 layers. And so we're going to go and ungroup it, and we're going to move these top layers to the back. You can use those layers. Oops, don't want to stretch it. Collect those and move them. You can do this with, like I said, a single layer. It's just a little bit more to it. But you're going to insert your shape. Say it's a card panel or a card front, and make your card panel the size you want. I'm just going to make this a 5x7. And then you can layer this onto a card base that way. And I'm just going to make it white so it shows up better. And arrange and move that to the back. And that butterfly is a little large. I got it a little bit large, so I'm going to select all my pieces. I'm going to shrink it down just a tiny bit so it fits. There we go. Move these back out of the way. And I'm taking the largest layer. If you look in your layers panel, it's the bottom layer. That's the largest one. And I am going to select it and my card base, and I am going to align it. I'm just going to say center. You can center it horizontally, move it where you want to. You can tilt it. You can do any of that, okay? We'll just leave it tilted. I kind of like that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select them both, and we're going to slice it. And then I'm just going to pull this over to the side. Now we have a hole in our card base, but we want this butterfly in there. Let's send this card base to the back. Now we have this butterfly, and we want this butterfly to stay attached in there so that it looks like its wings are fluttering, okay? So I'm just going to line it up in that hole and get it like I want it, to make sure that there is a line all the way around it, that there's an opening all the way around it. It's not touching anywhere, okay? Then you're going to get a shape like a square, and you're going to just make a long, skinny rectangle. And I'm going to kind of tilt it there to match my butterfly. And I'm going to put this right across the center and the back side of that butterfly, okay? Then I am going to select it all. Well, first I am going to duplicate my butterfly wings. I want to duplicate that, okay? Actually, I can put the solid one in there or this. It depends on which one you want. If you want this background to be solid, put the next size down in there. It's either way you want it. If you want it to be lacy in there, use this one. If you want to put the lacy one on top of that and layer it, you can do that as well. Either one you want. They would both be pretty. As a matter of fact, I think I'll duplicate this base and show you what the difference would be. And I'll just go ahead and duplicate that. So I have another one of those, and I'll duplicate that too. That way I have one of everything, because when you go to weld this, you're going to lose the one you weld. So if you have an extra, not going to hurt anything. And I'm just going to kind of line him up in there to make sure that there's a space all the way around him. I'm going to bring this in right down the center of the butterfly. You may have to tilt it a little bit more. Just get it in there. Then you're going to select all 3 pieces and you're going to weld. Now when it cuts, it's going to leave the butterfly attached in that hole, but the wings will bend up. And you can, let me move that to the back because whatever we worked on last comes to the front. You can layer that with a solid butterfly on it, or you can layer it with the wings on it and have the color of your base pop through. Or you can use this panel, that's one way, and I'm just going to get rid of that. You can bring in, let me undo that. I'll save this for you in case you want it so you'll have something to go by. Let's just hide that. I can get rid of this butterfly because this one's working fine. Okay, so it's in there. I'll just unhide it before we finish. Here's the second one that I duplicated where I sliced that out. I'm going to arrange and move this to the front. I've already duplicated it, so I still have all 4 layers of my butterfly and the piece I sliced out. So if I want to do extra things with those, I'm just going to place this one in there. Make sure he's lined up. Just going to make sure I'm going to tilt that just slightly. Tilt a little bit more. There we go. That looks good to me, so I'm going to select all 3 of those pieces and I'm going to weld. Now when this cuts, it's going to have the lacy wings, and then you can put this behind it if you want, however you want to do that. So you have 2 options there, but that's how you're going to do it and leave the butterfly attached or any other object. You can do this with any object. It doesn't have to be a butterfly. I did a video and showed on one of the chat around the mats how to, you could even layer this up a little bit. That would be pretty. But I showed how to do like a wine glass. Let me just get another image and show you. Let's go in here and get maybe, let's see if there's a dog. Okay. I don't really care for those. Let's see. Oh, he's cute. So that's the boxer. Let's say you wanted this to kind of stand up. I think the boxer is cute. Let's get him. Don't need that one. And insert that image. And he's up here. I'm going to bring him down. And I'm just going to hide these other layers. I don't need them. I can use them later. But notice how I don't have a shadow layer of him. So how am I going to do that? First, I'm going to duplicate it. And I am going to stretch him just slightly. Not a lot, just a little. And I might even have to unlock and skew it just a bit. Let me make that a different color. Make it purple so I can see it. Well, it didn't change. Make one purple. There we go. And I just want to kind of skew him, make him just a tiny bit bigger. Actually, let's just go with this guy. Make it easier on myself. I apologize, don't mean to confuse you. Get my shape, a square. It's been a while since I did this. I have to remember when you don't have a layer, a shadow layer. Of course, I can go into Cricut a lot and do it, but if you don't have Cricut a lot, you can't do that. So let me move that backwards. And let's say I want to cut him out of there. So I'm going to align, and I'm going to center him horizontally so he's in the middle, and I'm going to slice. Okay? Now I'm going to take that sliced piece, and I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller so that I have some space all the way around. This image is kind of hard to do it with without a shadow layer. Some images are going to be more difficult than others. Let's see. Let me see what I can think of. Something that doesn't have all those legs on it. How about a basket? That's it. Let's do a basket. That won't have a bunch of legs. Here we have this one. This one has a shadow layer. Shadow layers are always best, but you can do it. Let's just pick this one. This is a simple image. Let me try that again. So we're going to insert a shape, a square. We're going to do the same thing basically that we did with the butterfly. I'm going to come up here and get those images because I'm trying to work in a clean area so you can see. Oops. I don't want to stretch it that big. I want to stretch this one. And arrange, move to the front. Okay, here's our basket, and there is our card base. And I am going to stretch it just a little bit. Duplicate it. Then you're going to line it, do all that stuff, and slice. Okay, and then I'm just going to get rid of the bigger one. That's our sliced piece. Don't need it. And that, ignore that piece in the middle. We're going to contour that out anyway. It's just going to cut it. It just has, because it has a hole in it. And then we're just going to make this one slightly smaller. Not a lot, just slight, so that it fits in to that hole that we cut, okay? And then you're going to get, as a matter of fact, let's get rid of this contour. I should have contoured that out before I started. Just want those. There we go. This is what you want. Now this piece, of course, is not going to stay because it's going to cut. So if you want, you can contour that out as well, so that you just have a hole. And I'm going to say we want that basket to kind of tilt. So I'm just going to go across the middle there and get a square. Again, I'm just going to get a rectangle, make it a teeny tiny thin, just a rectangle that fits across my image. I'm just getting it in that hole to where it fits, and there's space all the way around. Just going to stretch that out, make it a little taller and fill that hole. And then you're going to select them all and weld. Now when this cuts, it'll still be attached, but the base will be loose and the handle will be loose so that it can be folded up. But that's basically, and then you can use arrange, move this to the front. It'll let me arrange. Then you can use this piece as a decorative piece over the one that you have there. Just have to size them up. So then you have that. But you can do this, like I said, with any shape. When you're learning, it's best to have one that has layers, and you need at least 2 layers to do that, one smaller than the other. Okay? I hope that helps you out, Reese, and if you have any more questions, just let me know.